All right, welcome to the last episode of the month.
The
Isn't that
Last
crazy?
of Us.
The last of see, I never know which direction it. The Last of Us. Damn. See, it's so hard because I'm looking at you here, but the camera's here and I'm sitting on like this plane. Anyways,
Oh,
Edmund,
good.
how are you feeling? How
What's
did
up,
you
buddy?
feel about the month? Oh, wait,
Uh,
before we even get into that.
yeah, crack it open. Liquid.
I'm
Which one
addicted.
is that one? Is that the sparkling?
Thank you for asking. This is the Armless Palmer. This is part of their new tea brand, dude. I'm
You
as
are
hard
not sponsored. Let's make it clear that you're not sponsored by Liquid Death. They
not
don't pay you
sponsored,
five
but
thousand dollars an episode.
not sponsored, but Liquid Death. Please answer my fucking email, please. Me and Tony sent them an email a while ago where it's like we talk about your product so much. If you would be willing to send us a case, like
Right. Don't even send us money. Just send us a case so we can. Yeah.
literally, yeah. If I could cut down the cost, like this right here, that's a case of Liquid Death. And
I
then
think was there a picture or a snap or something of Renee buying you a case of Liquid Death a while back, and you're like holding it?
yeah. So this is so stupid, but it's so funny. So there's three Liquid Death tea flavors, and I was really excited because I love me some iced tea more than pop, more than juice, more than water.
Okay, I didn't know that.
So this is the regular tea. This case right here that my comics are sitting on is the peach tea, and this is the Arnold Palmer. So Nay ordered me a case of each.
Dude, you
Um,
ever you ever look in the background of how that company was started? Like the founder of Liquid Death?
he was the creative director of Netflix.
Is that what he was before?
I think he was the creative, or he might have been like the marketing director. He was someone huge at Netflix,
Yeah, yeah,
and
yeah.
like it's so funny. It's Have you seen any of their like commercials?
No, but I do know it's like yeah. It's super like shock value type stuff, which is obviously the name, Liquid Death. It's water. Yeah, like that was the whole point.
But
Yeah.
it's like they just made a commercial. This is the last bit I'll shill for Liquid Death. But they just had a commercial where it was like three or four grandmas like doing like a screamo headbanging song, and it was just a commercial, and it's like not your grandma's. Honestly, I think it was for the tea. It was like not your grandma's tea or something, and I'm just like, I love that. It's so incredibly insane, and it's for water.
Do you remember working at Vreeland back in the days for you? I remember like how tough it was to like the beverage, the cooler wall. I was just thinking about this today. So now the big jump is like every brand who did like an energy type of thing, like 5 Hour Energy now has energy drinks. They've got big full size cans, energy.
Really,
Ghost, which started as like a supplement brand for like bodybuilding
bodybuilders.
bros, is now an energy brand. Uh, and they've got like Sour Patch and shit like that. Dude, like the energy drink market has exploded. It used to be like Red Bull and Monster were like the kings, and then like if you tried to squeeze in, they'd crush you. But it's like I don't know what happened. I think it's like social media like opened up the door for all that shit.
Well, even I forget which one is older. Logan Paul, I think. Logan
Yeah,
Paul with his Prime brand.
blew up.
Like I just tried it the other day because it's like a sports drink. It's like a Gatorade
It's a
Powerade type of thing.
Gatorade competitor for sure.
And I'm not even like I don't even like Gatorade like that, but I tried it and I was like, wow, this is actually pretty good. And I'm like, not that I
Don't
would
they all
go out
kind
of
of
my
taste
way
the
for it.
same though? You think like blind taste test? Would you tell any of this shit apart from the other? Like I really don't, man. They all just taste like
Oh,
Kool
I
Aid.
oh I could be able to, but I
Okay.
but I love drinking things like for the longest time, and I think working at Vreeland definitely like
Yeah.
enhanced it because we're always getting new water, new tea, new pop, new beer, like.
Right.
And I my preferred method of consumption is drinking. I'll
Oh,
dude,
I
if
see.
I could liquefy all my food and it tastes the same, I would do it. I can't wait to get old.
Uh, and get
Just
get plugged into the matrix and just be intravenously fed all your nutrients. You
Oh
just
no, I want to taste the liquid.
hey, a little tangent, but I had this conversation with Tomas yesterday at work, and it has something to do with AI, so it's relevant to what we're talking about right now. Which, by
Yeah,
the way, we'll
to
share.
finally bring it back to what
Yeah,
we're how we're ending out the month.
well, explain the premise of today's episode, and then I'll go into my little tangent.
Yes. Okay. So today's episode is well, it's the last of the month, and like I talked about throughout, I think moving forward, I want to sort of leave my guest, my friend, my partner for the month
Hang out.
with like a souvenir or like something to put on their shelf like this
Mhm.
that is like one not obtrusive because I understand not everybody wants to have this and everybody has like a clean or a different setup, but I wanted to give them a piece of the month. And what we decided for this month was that we were going to cross design a piece of merch that was Outrun and Tone Time, and it was going to be AI
Generate.
uh, generated or uh, AI. Oh my gosh, not enforced. Influenced in my case
Like,
because it was.
you know what I found was difficult was outrun as a term, as like a defining term, was really ambiguous. Is that the right word? Ambiguous. Where
Yeah.
like you can't lock it in, and so is tone time. Tone time and outrun were very like there's nothing you can nail down. What helped me was like I put clocks, I put alarm clock, I put like a running bull, um, marathon. I put like the things that I've been doing kind of, and then like uh
Mm-hmm.
outrun as like a genre is already like an 80s nostalgic hi-fi type Tron vibe. Yeah, so
Interesting.
if you Google search outrun as like a just a search term, it comes up like that magenta blue
Oh, like that
80s
80s
retro. Yeah.
like neon kind of stuff.
Exactly. Neon type vibe. That is Outrun. That's just like the like if you search Outrun movies, it's like Blade Runner. It's that kind of stuff. Um yeah, so that like themed. I don't know if you noticed it when you do Outrun search on AI. A lot of your stuff came in kind
Whoa.
of purpley magenta. Did you notice that?
So I had a weird time with yours. Not with yours, but like so I used a couple of different apps like for image generation
Mhm.
and they were insane. Like they were
You
just
did like the free ones, obviously. So I
yeah.
tried Dolly, which is Open AI, which is Chat GPT's variant of artwork app. Dolly
Oh.
Dolly is Chat GPT art. If that makes sense.
Yes. And I didn't know that because I wound up so I did let me share it. Let me share it. Um I wonder if I can just share this screen. So I used a free app at first. Let's see. Yeah, can you see that?
Oh, cool. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Okay, so what I was putting in was like Outrun, Nobody Cares, Work Harder, alarm. I put in digital alarm clocks too.
Mhm.
Um, and then I just kept putting 8 ball. And so I was getting like this.
You put an 8 ball or because it got an 8 ball?
No, I put 8 ball.
Okay.
Well, I put Magic 8 ball at first, and Magic was just fucking it up. Like it was coming back with like weird stuff.
Yeah.
And so it was coming with like this gave me like gym brand vibes. And then
Yeah.
it was a lot of
It's
like
cool that it's kind of giving you like logo though, like the gym brand logo looking thing. I never got anything like that. That's cool.
yeah,
Okay.
like more alarm clocks. Yeah, see like this was what was my prompt? Lifestyle and performance brand with slogan nobody cares work harder and brand with an alarm. So I was really trying to like combine the
Yeah.
logos,
Yeah.
but I found it was like see like they're weird. Like I
Yeah,
kind
don't mind the text. Let's just look at the graphic because the text always comes out fucking scrambled.
yeah, like I kind of like this one in the bottom corner. I don't know what it's going for,
You know what it
but
did? When you added "Nobody Cares, Work Harder," it pulled from a lot of like internet gym brands, which is why you're getting the circular. That's funny.
yeah, see, so like it's kind of clip arty.
No, but I like it because that's what you went for, like lo-fi kind of like graphic.
See, okay, so then see, this is
I like
where
that one, that bottom right corner. That one's sweet.
okay, see, so I that's where I started getting into like uh so I found it was so and I I feel like with the whole AI, people have been like, it's a really good idea for brainstorming. And
Mhm.
after using it, I 100% agree because like that little like the skull, the 8-bit skull alarm clock,
That is
I was
cool.
like, "Oh, I fucking love it." Because I love 8-bit art. I don't know like I don't know if
Yeah.
I've ever told you that. I was just telling Renee that I was like, "Oh my god, I love this." She's like, "I didn't know that." So I guess it's like just something I subconsciously think. I like
And it fits,
love.
like we just said about like lo-fi outrun type stuff, 8-bit art. And it kind of fits with your like initially your alarm clock was like a very primitively drawn out alarm clock where like
Yeah.
8-bit is like an evolution of that style.
And I took that. Let me see if there's any more.
That is actually pretty sweet. The skull idea, and for some reason I added skulls too, because one of my designs had a skull. I
Yeah.
added the search term is skull.
So here it kept
It's
getting
very
on.
Mario Brothersy.
So I really started to like the 8-bit
How did
like
it get into the 8-bit thing
so I think from
or
this
the?
one cuz I like you said like my logo at first was really primitive digital clock and I really like the 8-bit style like the Digimon logo that we did. Like
Uh-huh.
I love the like digital pixel art. Like
Yeah, I
I don't
remember
like
that.
when it's blurry, but like this top right one, I like when it's like clearly defined,
Right.
clean pixels. So once I saw this, I was like, oh, okay, I'm gonna lean into the 8-bit design because I thought the skull was really cool
Hmm.
and the alarm. I was like, that could be something really cool. So then I started like leaning into it, and I really liked the like being able to see it so quick. And I was like, oh, okay, I get
Now,
the
which app is this? Is this like a phone app one?
so this is okay, so this is Shutterstock at first, and I think you get like
Oh, Shutterstock's doing AI art too now.
yeah,
Damn.
so Shutterstock was actually I think the best one that I used, but you
Mhm.
get like 6 free prompts and then it's a monthly service.
If you think
Um
about it, Shutterstock is great because it's pulling from like Shutterstock's collection of millions of like really high quality
ah,
photos.
yeah. And so I was cuz honestly, I thought the Shutterstock logo or I thought the Shutterstock site was really what the hell?
It's
Share?
funny you went to Skull because I went to Skull too. That's really funny.
Well, I really like the design that you had with the skull and the rose, and I was like,
Mhm.
oh, that would be really cool. And so I was trying to. I like that it got to the point with the skull and the alarm clock because I really liked the idea of the skull and outrun and tone time. I feel like I wasn't so much putting um like the ideas behind tone time as much as like just the logo. But like when I sit and think about it, I'm like, it my whole thing is kind of like taking your time, enjoying the time that you're in. Like this, I want
Mhm.
to be fully here. I want to just be sitting here talking about this. Like my
Right.
phone is completely off. When I have sat down and I'm like, what really is tone time? Like this is tone time. Like sitting here
I like that.
doing whatever. And it's even funnier because you were the first person who called me tone and
It's very meta right now. Very
it's
meta.
so meta. Um but so I was trying to think of so that's why I really like the skull because I was like the skull of like, outrun
Mhm.
marathon like nobody cares just keep going with
Yeah.
like, the skull is like kind of like a passage of time and all of
And,
that.
and your liquid death. No, your liquid death can skull on it. It all comes back.
It's it's
We should have
so
put
cool.
liquid death in there. We should have put liquid death as a prompt. That probably would have put out some sweet shit.
Dude. So what I wound up coming up with was uh, I'm not going to show you on the laptop because it funny enough, it comes out too pixelated. Let's see. So this is what I wound up coming up with that I really love. Oh wait. Oh, I'll have to show you on Procreate. Dude, do you like do you draw anymore? I feel
I
like you would
really hardly ever draw anymore.
I feel like you would love an iPad.
The
I
only time
love.
I draw now is like when I sketch out like little things I want to build.
All right. So this is what I came up with.
Oh, that dude! I actually didn't think about that. It's really dope.
Isn't that
You sketched
sick?
that out, or it did that?
So I sketched this out. So once I got to like the
Yeah, that's
8-bit.
actually really sick.
So I had the 8-bit stuck in my head. I was like, it's got to do something with this. And I kind of toyed around with this idea for the longest time of like the tone time clock and putting like because it lends itself super easily with the face.
Yeah,
So
yeah, yeah, yeah.
the
Dude, I
outrun,
like that because if you put it like together, like if you try to like overanalyze it, it's like a clock gives our days and our lives structure because time and like your days are like I don't know, very like constricted and then outrunning like your yeah, I don't like taking it literally like the outrun thing, but that's fucking dope, dude. That's sweet. That's really
dude,
cool.
it's so sick. So I'm glad
Dude,
you
I
like
think
it.
okay. So before I even show you mine, I think that's already like the merch winner. I think we need to do that as a run. That's sweet.
So then I have another one too. Let me
Dude, I kind of see that as like a hat design, just like
so
a simple
what I
hat.
was thinking was that would be kind of like a little chess piece,
Chest.
like a
Yeah.
little chess piece right here on the front of the shirt. And then on the back, this is what I came up with. This I'm still kind of messing around with. But like two 8 balls with
Oh, that's what that is. Yeah, 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 yeah.
so
Where did you get the 8 ball graphic? That
the 8 ball I ripped it off
like an
just
8-bit 8 ball?
yeah, I just googled 8-bit 8 ball and then I got in the process of doing this, I have gotten really, really into 8-bit art, like how to do it on Procreate. So I like made my own brushes, made my own canvas. I like did this from scratch.
Damn, dude, you
And
really, dude. I like the whole thing. I like that sweet as hell. Actually, that's
I'm
really cool.
so glad you like the outrun, like the
I
clock.
like the whole thing, and the 8 ball in the back ties it back to the story you told me last episode. So that's very
Mhm.
cool.
All right, let's see what you got.
All
Because
right,
I'm.
so dude, let me see how to do this real quick. Let me do share screen. I didn't go as in. Okay, before I show you, I need to like.
Oh wait.
I don't want the
So,
first. I don't want the
so
first.
start with your tangent with Tomas.
Oh yeah, we can't. Okay. So we're talking about AI art. Let me get back to where is my Zoom meeting? How do we get back?
God, this armless Palmer is
Okay, there it is.
pretty good.
All right. So me and Tomas are working, and he always likes to like ask his older cousin me like very like philosophical questions because there's a lot of dead time at night. So he
Yeah.
like tries to ask something besides just like, hey, how's the sports team that we like
Hey, what's
doing?
going on?
How's
How's
how's how's the girls or
Well,
whatever?
it's because you're not in school and
I'm expecting a kid,
he
and
can't ask how work is going because he's there with you. And those are the two uncle questions. How's
right,
work and
right.
how's
Oh,
school?
oh, it's older cousin questions technically, but yeah, yeah, yeah. So,
I know, but like those are the questions that the uncles ask.
oh
How's
yeah,
work and how's school?
and I'd previously asked how his spring break was. So that's it.
So that's
That's
one topic gone.
so then, and I brought it up. I brought up Chat GPT, and I said, "You ever mess with it?" Because I'm thinking your brother's like very like into tech. Maybe not. I don't know. I feel like every younger generation is like even
A
heavily
little bit
more into
more.
tech than I am, which I think I'm pretty engrossed in it. So he's like, no, to be honest, I've never used Chat GPT. And I know your brother Michael has. Michael's used it to
Hmm.
like apparently write book reports and all sorts of shit and hand them in.
Which is so fucking stupid because if you've used Chat GPT for like 5 minutes, it sounds so robotic.
So the old version did. The new Chat GPT 4.0 apparently is like super like 1,000x as capable and way more passable.
So
So
I used the previous version of Chat GPT for some of these too. And like
okay.
I have a
So it
couple
like
of
gave you prompts, like it helped you with prompts, you mean?
yeah, I'll tell you after, but
That's cool.
like
Okay.
they're kind
So then,
of
so then I asked him about that. And he's like, no, to be honest, I haven't messed with ChatGPT, blah, 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 besides of what I heard about it. And I was like, okay. So then we're talking about the newest version. And then we're in the back having food, and your brother Michael's there. And I said, okay, take like fast forward 5, 10 years and say your partner, whether you're male or female, or you want a male or female partner, like what's stopping us from falling in love with a device or an app or an AI, right? So it's based off the movie Her. I don't know if you've
Her. I haven't
heard.
seen it, but I literally as you're saying that, I was like, that's the Joaquin Phoenix movie.
So I haven't seen it either, but Lex Friedman talks about it all the time, and he's in love with the movie. And Lex always talks about this concept of like falling in love with an AI when
Hmm.
it's become like so evolved that you can't distinguish it from talking to you right now.
Yeah.
So I explained it to him. I said, say you're dating some college girl and you're a state away, but you're dating. So you're text messaging, you're FaceTiming, whatever it is, flirtatious texts or whatever. What's stopping that from being an AI that's like smarter than, Chat GPT, just say, 5 years from now. And then take that and put it in a physical form, a a robot that's indistinguishable from human
That's
at some point. Right? And then it speaks to you. So you come home, it speaks to you, it greets you. Like, I don't like what do our significant others do? You don't like dilute it that much, but they greet you, they say, how was your day? What's going on? What's new? They talk to you a little bit, conversation. And then obviously like the sexual part. So like the sexual gratification part is like
oh no,
pretty
sex robots,
irreplaceable. No,
high
no, but look, so take
highly
that dude,
intelligent
a
sex
really
robot.
evolved. Okay, I don't want to make this podcast gross, but like really evolved fleshlight is a sex robot. Okay, so you add AI to that and
Oh
have
my
like a
god.
conversation.
Dude, that's
You
the
know.
end of the world right there.
So, anyways, I was explaining this concept to him, and he's like, "I don't think anybody would go for it. I don't think anybody would go for it." I was like, "Fuck off!" Like people are
People
already going
100%
for
would
it.
go for it. What the fuck?
Dude, people are being catfished on Facebook through Messenger. Okay, and they're
People
in
were
love
getting
with this
catfit
person who is just text messaging.
people were getting catfished on fucking MySpace. People were getting
Yeah,
catfished
and it
on
was just text. It was just text.
that's
So imagine it's something far more,
dude, that's so stupid to say that
intelligent.
nobody would fall for it. That's absolutely insane. Of course people will
Okay,
fall
so
for it.
not even the fall for it. Do you think people would be on board and voluntarily in a relationship with something that gave them the gratification of companionship, gave them the sexual gratification of physical companionship as well, all the while knowing it's not a human, but it's like the next best thing?
I think, reading a lot of listening to a lot of like fantasy podcasts, and playing a lot of sci-fi video games.
Yeah.
I feel like you get into like that kind of territory, and not saying that I would, but I don't see why that wouldn't happen. Like I can 100% see that as like the I don't want to say like next step, but like I could see that happening, and I could
Yeah.
see it like maybe not in either of our lifetimes or even in our kids' life. I mean, if
I
we're
think
around
definitely.
that long,
I think within our lifetime, I absolutely think there's going to be some type
really,
of like convergence.
dude, that's
Yeah.
that's
No, definitely.
Blade
That's
Run,
dude.
Blade Runner.
If you think when I was 10 years old in 95, did I
Damn,
think we would be sitting here FaceTiming while having instant phone access through some 8K, 4K camera,
did you?
using AI Chat GPT technology to create artwork that we're gonna put on shirts and like
That is fucking crazy. Did you? Did you think that? I don't know. I didn't think that in
I
'95.
was
I
a
wasn't
pretty
around in
creative kid, but I
'95.
didn't think that far out. Yeah. So what's gonna happen in 20 years from now, dude? I think it's like the length of time is actually shrinking. Like we're making
Yeah.
things faster. Um, yeah. So we talked about that. Yeah. 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 So what do you think? Where do you think that fall is like? Have you ever seen Blade Runner, the latest one, 2049? I forget 20.
I
The
haven't.
one with Ryan Gosling. Who's the one? No, is it
I
Gosling?
haven't seen the new one. I saw the old one in college for a class, and I remember being
Oh,
like,
like cult classic. That's a great movie.
and I remember being like, this is fucked. This is scary.
Yeah.
Um, but I heard the new one was amazing.
So the new one
But
has this cool scene where the main character walks into his apartment and it's like a really high end or just like a hi-fi apartment, and he's greeted by his girlfriend, really beautiful girl, and they're having conversation in the kitchen and he's making food and they're talking, and they get into an argument, and he turns away from the girl and he says some kind of phrase which makes her like disappear, and then you realize instantly that she was never in the room, she was just a hologram.
see, that's
But she
insane.
wasn't a
That's
figment
so
of his
cool.
imagination. It was like a technology they had created for the movie or for the scene, where it's like this hologram that follows you around, and it's like based in the ceiling. So it's very like mechanically tied to reality. It's not like some like really,
I mean, it's
you know,
AR,
yeah,
AR.
exactly.
It's
AR
V.
projection.
Yeah. Oh my
And
gosh.
it was like tied to reality because it was like a device that like floated around his ceiling and it would project the girl.
Do
And then
you
when he
have an
told her to go away,
Oculus?
it would go away. What's that?
Have you ever tried VR? Do you have an Oculus?
I don't. I really want to get one. I want to get one for the PS5 right now. They just came out with a pretty nice one.
Dude, it looks really sweet. From what I've seen, I have a VR Quest 2. So sick. It's insanely cool.
It's getting good.
And
There was like
like
limitations. It's getting better.
to like your point, like I think it will get to that point, and I would be lying if I told you I wasn't at least kind of excited because I think that stuff is really cool. Like I do think it's scary when it
Yeah.
gets to like a scary point, but I think it could also be really cool. Like
Have you seen Ready Player One?
no,
Oh, you
but
need to see Ready Player One. So I read the book and then saw the movie, and
I
it's
watched The
essentially where
Matrix.
we're. Well, the Matrix is one, but Ready Player One specifically is a very like headset oriented
Orange.
future where we all live in a headset. You work in a headset, you live, you play. Like real world sucks. Like the world just is fucking shit.
It's like
Everybody's
Web
bored.
3.0, right?
Yeah, essentially.
Kind
But the
of,
world like
essentially.
sucks though. Like so to escape it, you just sit in your room and put your Oculus on, and you can be whatever you want and do whatever you want. And actually, so work will actually be that way too. So say you have a robot that is your physical body at the Ford plant putting the frames together for the Ford assembly line.
Hmm.
You essentially operate it from home, and you say, okay, this arm needs to go here. Oh, I see this switch needs to be
That's
connected
so
here.
crazy.
So you control it remotely. So that was one of the scenarios, but I see that happening. I don't
I,
want to say
oh,
like
I,
10 or 20 years, but maybe 40 years out. I could see it.
I could see that. Oh my gosh, yo, we are less than 10 minutes. I need to see your
All right, I know.
design.
All right, let's do it. Let's do it.
Let me see it,
Share screen.
dude.
We're gonna
I'm so
tell me
hyped with
when you
how
can
this turned out.
see it. Can you see it?
Oh, hella
Hey, can you-
Dune. That one with the sun in the back.
so hold on. Oh, I didn't see you can see the left one. So we'll start with the main one on the screen
Well,
right now.
actually,
So
I can't because my camera's blocking it. So
okay,
right now,
so
I just see this one with the
let me
six
just
point one.
explain them. So yeah, so Outrun gave me this like magenta hi-fi vibe. I like this digital alarm clock. So my prompts were obviously Outrun tone time, alarm clock, Skull running bolt marathon, pretty much the same stuff you
Yeah,
planted. So I used a thing called Cafe Night Cafe. So this one is
creep.
kind of cool. It creates like a skull with a clock. I think
Yo,
it's really cool. So it's got that teeth. It's got the eyes that kind of could be like text. And it's got like some kind of whiskers and a nose. I thought this one was pretty cool and pretty close to like your purple alarm clock thing.
hmm,
Um,
I like
but,
that. That's fucking creepy as hell.
but it's wild that and then I put in like dynamic lighting because I dude it does a really good job of like compot like what was when I was in art, it was like the composition was the biggest thing. You really got to get the composition. And what's
Hmm.
funny is these things nail composition because this
Whoa.
particular one, you don't want your subject always in the center point. Sometimes
Yeah,
you want it off center. Sometimes you want it touching an edge. I think art always said like you want 3 points of contact with the edge of the frame. So
interesting.
like this, you got the background, then you've got these branches coming out. So like it nails a lot of like compositional elements.
I really love that. That one is like I love their like spacey, like
Yeah.
futuristic hi-fi vibes.
Yeah. The tone is definitely there.
I really
Um,
like the purple
so these are like less graphic T things that we can put on a shirt and more just like, I guess, just artwork or graphic.
ideas.
This
See,
one
I
is very
really
like Disney vibe. I'm getting. I don't know how it got the Disney ears, but
this is
that's
like
all.
Star Warsy.
Yeah, Star Warsy, Disney. But your clock definitely like overpowered everything. And then I've
It's
got this one,
and
which is like
this is
Blade
why
Runner, Blade
AI is
Runner
gonna take a while.
AI. This dude running with a red shirt. I love it. Um, yeah. Yeah, so I wanted to
Dude,
save that one for last. But I think overall, if I was gonna pick a
no,
winner,
no hands, no fingers.
oh, with the person,
Yeah,
oh yeah, the AI is terrible at fingers. Actually, this hand right here is not bad. That
yeah,
hand
that
right
one's
there,
not. Look at that thigh too.
that dude's jacked. And then like a little floating car, just like racing away. Um, but yeah, I think this one fits the vibe, and it's funny because it fits like what you did. Here we'll stop share.
Dude,
Yeah, your clock.
I love it. I Okay, so while I was putting this together, I was thinking of ordering. I was because I was gonna order you one and me one,
Mhm.
um, but I think we for sure go with
Oh
this.
yeah, that's sweet.
This this for sure. But now after seeing your clock with the skull, I think I'm gonna change this out and maybe make this top one like an 8-bit skull
Yeah, yeah,
and
yeah.
make this more of an 8 ball. Like when I made this and I showed Nay, she's like, "Why am I looking at balls?" I was like, "What?" I was like, "What does it look like?" She's like, "It looks like two
Blue
balls."
balls,
I was like,
two blue balls.
"So they don't look like a magic 8 ball?" She's like, "No, it looks like two balls that say nobody cares, keep going."
Maybe we could do one good size 8-bit ball, and then the
Mhm.
inside have the skull.
So that's what
Um,
I was trying to like figure out how to do the eight. So the 8 ball is hard because you can't tell it's an 8 ball unless you see the eight on it because otherwise it's just a
right,
black
unless you see
ball.
the underside with a
And
hole in it. Yeah, yeah.
and I mean when you flip it around, it has like a die on the inside. So I was thinking maybe if that was like a shape, like
Hmm.
if this ah, like oh my gosh. If there was like a shape in here, oh my god. Like whatever the dice shape was behind it, I feel like maybe that would make it more of like, oh, okay, that's an 8 ball. But I don't know.
Dude, you know what I just thought of? The fact that it said nobody cares. Imagine that was part of one of the answers of an 8 ball, and you're like, "Will I get married to Cynthia?"
Well,
And then it's like, nobody cares. Nobody cares.
that was also I what I thought was kind of funny because I was like, what if these were like 8 ball responses? Because I thought
Yeah.
that exactly I was like, that would be funny if it's like, I'm really in my head, I was like, okay, I'm really stressed. I have like this recording to do. I have this many shirts that I have to do. Magic 8 ball. What should I do? And you roll it, it
Dude,
just says nobody cares or keep
dude, I
going.
almost think we need to make this a physical product. That's fucking cool too, actually.
If I could have a custom Magic 8 ball, that would be the sickest. And it was just full of like nobody cares. Crack a bubbly. Keep going.
Yeah, dude, I actually kind of like that, man. I
I'm
kind of
gonna
like that.
okay. Well, I'm
You got
gonna
something there too.
let me see. I
There's got to be an Alibaba or a Wish variant that we can make our own 8 ball variants. There's got to be. Write that down. I think
custom
that's definitely a thing we get out of this.
Magic eight.
And it'll be a Tone Time Outrun collab for sure. And we could just we'll make like 10 of them.
That would be fucking sick. Oh, dude,
A little more extensive than making this shirt, but we could definitely make it
dude.
for sure.
I taught myself how to do 8-bit digital art in a day. All I did was watch a couple of
Dude, I love.
videos. I loved it. So real quick before we get kicked out, like I went all the way into like the pixels.
Oh, I see it, dude, and I like it even better than like the straight line version. I love it. Oh wait, oh you can blur it with.
So I
I see. So you made a brush so you can pixelize.
so yeah, and I literally went pixel by pixel. So this thing is Um, I think the black lines are 3 pixels. The outside gray outline is 2. And so like it's not like I don't think it's scalable because it's not like proper. Like this is a rough sketch, and I was like, okay, let me just straighten
Got
out
you.
all the lines and do all of that.
Yeah, so if you want to make it scalable, I'd recreate an Illustrator and we can scale it up. But that's easy to do.
Dude,
So
I might, I'm probably gonna have you help me with my Illustrator questions. Actually, yeah, I learned pixel art in a day. I can Google and watch some Illustrator YouTube videos.
that's what's incredible about this shit. Just a little small tangent of like how quick you can learn a new skill or something you've been wanting to do for years. Like internet, this shit capability is like crazy, and nobody's
I
taking advantage of it. Or at least a lot of people are not.
Dude, it's insane how easy it is, and like I don't know. This is so not complicated. Like this led me down a rabbit hole of like looking up pixel art. I'm like,
Yeah,
dude,
yeah.
I love it. I'm in it.
There's like pixel. There's pixel like audio now, or like what do they call it? 8-bit audio, where it's like they'll take like theme songs of shit and break them down into 8-bit,
Oh yeah, 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 yeah.
like Mario Brothers type shit. Like,
Yeah, like
but make it like
the chip
more
tune,
current.
like,
Yeah, that's what they call it, chip tune, right? Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
Well,
Okay, to kind of like wrap up, what do you? I'll let you, since you're the host. I'll let you do the wrap up.
dude, I try to end every month with just a thank you, and that's where I started, and that's where I started the episode, and we'll tie it up with just thank you for your time, and I mean, I'm. It feels weird to like thank you for hanging out with me, but like scheduling this
No,
is kind of difficult, and we recorded late a lot of the days, and like after a long day it's tough to sit down and just like be on for another hour. So I just appreciate you hanging and giving me
yeah,
your
fuck
time
yeah,
this
dude.
month.
Yeah, dude. Absolutely. Same to you, man. Like I want to thank you for like having me on. I want to look at the camera and tell you like genuinely. Yeah. So like it got me like a few things. It got me like using my equipment, podcasting again, just getting familiar with like a schedule and a routine. And I told you that's the reason I wanted to do it. I wanted to like challenge myself again.
Hmm.
Um, but yeah, dude, like getting up this morning and late Wednesdays, like coming home, I've been building the house, fixing the house up for this upcoming life changing event. So I've been fixing everything up, and yeah, dude, I want to do more of this. And thanks for the hangs. And I think we came to like a cool a cool end with like finding all this art that we can do.
Dude,
Um,
I this
the Magic 8
100
Ball, the graphics on the shirt.
this 100% unlocked uh 8-bit art for me. Like I'm really like today after seeing your reaction to the Outrun logo, I was like, because I was already like 50-50 if I should redo the Tone Time logo, like from just the like basic sticks. And now I'm like, I have to. Like, I had so much fun making this. I was like, I have to redo it. Like, because I
You
think
know
it
how I
would.
see Yeah, I see like Outrun logos and Toe Time logos as like variants. Like say the multiverse, like Marvel, you want to think of it as variants. Like we can have an Outrun Tone Time 8-bit variant. Like what if Antonio and Edmund started a brand in 2019? What would it look
Boom.
like? That's the variant, right? So I
I
like it.
love it. So real quick for the people who say that they can't do this because it's too hard. Was this too hard to do this month?
No, one a week. No, it's totally easy. I was actually early on. I was like, let's do 3 a week, and
I
maybe that's
told
pushing it.
see everybody is like where's like once a week. Come on, we could do two. I'm like, I could do two. I could do three. I could do it 4 times a week. And everybody's like, yeah, I'm like, "Oh, I can't do it this week. I can't do it. I'm like, that's totally fine. That's why I say, as long as we get the one a week, I'm happy. But it's not that
Yeah, I think
hard.
we threw a bonus episode in there, bonus or two. But then not only just filming it, you and then I did one is where you edit it, composite it, throw a thumbnail together. That takes some work too. Like it all adds up, man. It's a lot of work. But
Yeah.
I appreciate you, Tom. Thanks for having me on, dude. If you want to have me on another time, let me know.
Dude, of course.
We'll
One
call we'll call off screen.
100%. And I mean, I don't know what the timing's gonna be with the baby, so it might be a little bit. I already got
Yeah, we'll
toast in
figure it out.
trouble for overcommitting, so I won't do that again.
Got it, man.
But
All
all
right,
right,
brother.
we'll talk.
Talk to you
Peace.
on screen later, brother. Thank you.